Good morning. Good morning. Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Lab. Let's open this up a little bit here. Just trying to see if I can get this series, Ask an Older Musician, uh, popping on a Saturday morning. Talking about practice. Sometimes musicians don't like to hear that word. They'd rather just be given chords or a system so that they can play through a song till they get to the next one. I've always been a advocate for practice. Even as a young instrumentalist, I took those practice techniques playing the instrument and would go home and apply them to the piano. So, conversation sometimes where they say talk is cheap, action speaks louder than words. I would just do these same exercises that I did as an instrumentalist, and I would do them on the piano. As a youngster, let me see. I would hear them as an instrumentalist. The camera's right here. I would hear those same practices in my head, and then I would go to the piano if I wasn't making too much noise, and then I would practice. But then I would develop a different way of hearing it. I go chromatically. There we go. I would hear it in my head, how I would like for it to sound, which I often say musicians, you have to protect your hearing because you don't play by ear, you play by hear, which means you can hear the audible tone in its correct key. This is pre-transpose, of course, and then you would sit down to your practice instrument. In my case, it was a spinet piano. Let's see if I can scroll through and find what that piano I had in my early days used to sound like. And it was kept in tune because my father worked on pianos, so he made sure that the one we had in the house was tuned. Just going through all the pianos, if I can see if I can replicate what that sound was. And I don't see. Oh, that's dark piano. I'm on my keyboard. There's no Chordy app on this one. And again, for those who do have keyboards, you should learn what your keyboard has inside of it, other than piano, maybe synth horns or synth sounds. Let's see, 90 piano. No, that's not what it sounds like. I'm looking for a upright within these pianos. These are the type of things I would practice, you might say, just to get a feel for. That's got a pad. That sounds pretty. The layered sound is what a lot of musicians like to use today to sort of compensate for, and I use the word compensate because I understand the word what compensate. You make up for uh, technique, touch. Piano touch means you're going to use the sustain pedal to sustain notes so that you can move your hands to play additional notes. Oh, sad piano. That sounds sad. Sad piano, which means it has appropriate music, which usually requires you going down different octaves to be chromatic notes to give you that sad sound. What sad song is that? I think the original Hulk television show had that sad sound. So you sometimes you may wonder when I'm playing, where do I get all these chords from? because I can hear music that audibly that comes into my presence, you might say through, at that time, radio, television, even church. I would retain those sounds, go back home, and practice what they sound like.